The former Assassin's Creed franchise director, Mark Alexis Coate, revealed that his departure was not his choice. He said, "I did not walk away. I stayed at my post until Ubisoft asked me to step aside." And so you've got this guy making a post out on LinkedIn. Here it is. We're going to read it. And past 24 hours have been deeply emotional. Ubisoft decided to transfer leadership of the Assassin's Creed franchise to someone closer to its new organizational structure. Let me go ahead and do a little bit of translation for that. They sent this motherfucker to China. They sent this bitch to the Chinese. Thank God. I used to pray for times like this. Holy shit. Finally, it might be good again. Thank God. Tencent? Well, Ubisoft been floundering for so long, they had to make a new shell company to move all of their IPs to in order to get Tencent to buy a huge percentage of that so they can make new games. You ever seen like a bug, how it gets out of its exoskeleton and gets in a new one? You ever seen like one of those cicada things? It's like, damn, that used to be a bug, but it got out of the shell. That is Ubisoft. Ubisoft isn't the bug, it's the shell. Ubisoft went, and now that bug is in China. That bug is in China. And so what happened is that Ubisoft had basically such a massive flop. It was bad. Like they had Star Wars Outlaw, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Before that, you had Prince of Persia Sands of Time that was overpriced. Nobody bought the game. You had to shut down the studio. And I think before that, you had one more flop, Skull and Bones. That's the other one. So 3 strikes, you're out. Ubisoft had 4. Uh-oh. That's a foul. And so guess what? Now they've got a new company and they're making new games with the Chinese because the Chinese are buying them out. Now the Chinese have partial ownership of the IPs and that's it. But I also owe it to my teams past and present to say this plainly. I did not walk away. I stayed at my post until Ubisoft asked me to step aside. You want to know why they asked you to step aside is because you couldn't do your job. You were shitty at your job. You made trash. The games that you made sucked. They were bad. You got fired because you were bad at your job. That's called natural selection. And today you got picked. You want to cry about it? Well, all I'm going to do is sit here and laugh and say, thank God, one more obnoxious, self-righteous, annoying Western game developer is sent back to where you really belong. McDonald's. Welcome home. I will not stop until every single one of these people are at McDonald's. We're going to send every single one of them back. And it's going to be beautiful. And everybody, even the people that hate me, will look back and they will say thank you that you did this. I never wanted to be involved in any of this. Like, I honestly, like, I could have sat in my room and played video games my whole life, and I would have never been involved. But then they had to go and add a girl into my game, and you think that I'm not going to burn the whole motherfucking place down? Metaphorically? No, bitch. You should not have done that. You should not have replaced my main character with a girl that did not even have big-ass titties. You should have never even thought about that. And you did. And this is what you get. Did you read why he was fired? He's not going to say why. He's not going to say the real reason why. He's not going to go and be like, I got fired for this one thing. Because there's probably 10 different things. The person in charge of the company is the new French CEO's son. Yeah, Guillaume's son. I know that. But read into what the new company is. And they had to transfer it to him for legal reasons so they could maintain control. They had to make a pact with them and get bailed the out because Tencent, at the end of the day, you might not like the way that China's politics are. You might not like the way that China does its government, or you might not like X, Y, or Z thing, the censorship, etc. But Tencent is such a big company, they do not give a fuck about any of that other than making money. They will adhere to the obligations that the government puts on them, but for the most part, they have their hand in so many cookie jars. They cannot even afford to invest energy into micromanaging the story of every single game. That's the truth. They know what gamers want? Yeah, exactly. Hopefully DEI is dead and common sense prevails. It isn't dead. It is not dead. But it is, you gotta, at this point, it's about stomping out the roaches that remain, metaphorically. And that's what we do. And this was a big roach. It was a big roach. So anyway, yeah, this guy ended up getting fired for this game, and that's what happens whenever you make pieces of shit, bro. Like, that's what happens. You shouldn't have made a piece of shit, and you wouldn't have gotten fired, and that's life.